It's hip hop. They call it a movement. And explicit content. So you're advised. It's not for kids. In the house, we've got Kim and Mag One, BB Love, Block Boys in the house.
Salute, salute.
Mag One, us, Kim, the Bgirl.
Kim-A-Kazi.
Kim-A-Kazi.
There you go.
I just heard of her recently because a lot of heads out there didn't tell me the history of New York, how the b-boy and the b-boy and the b-girl world was. You only heard about certain crews. You only heard about certain crews.
They try to sweep us under the carpet. They don't want nobody to know about us.
Okay, well now, thank God for live stream and all this YouTube and all this broadcast, because now the truth can be mentioned and spoken worldwide. So here today we got Kim-A-Kazi, a b-girl that when I was told her history, I was shocked. I was really shocked. So this is the deal. Kim-A-Kazi, you're going to introduce yourself to everyone, and you're going to let us know where you're from, where you were born, and how did you grow up? How was your childhood growing up? And then I'll ask you another question. Go ahead.
Okay.
Take it from there.
Kim, my dance name is Kim-A-Kazi. I was the leader of the first professional female breakdance crew called the Dynamic Dolls, which stemmed off from our male counterparts, the Dynamic Breakers. So we first performed with them, and then we broke off and started the Dynamic Dolls, which was a female breakdance crew. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I now reside in Florida. I am 57, and yeah, I mean, my history runs deep, and a lot of people don't realize it.
Okay, can you tell us how you grew up, like from a little girl? What school did you go to and all that?
Well,
okay.
Let me tell you this, okay? And I talk about this in my book called, well, this isn't the actual book because I don't have one, but it's called A B-Girl in a B-Boy World. And the first day my mother brought me home, I was turning over. So I said, well, that should have let you know right there. I was going to be wild. So yeah, tomboy, taught myself gymnastics in the street, which actually was a precursor to breaking, because I was doing things that I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing, like, I'm not saying I invented floats. Please don't get this wrong. But me and my girlfriend used to sit Indian style out in Brooklyn when I was about 8, 9. And then I get up on my knees, and then we'd race, and then I get on my hands. So you're like doing floats.
Wow.
But I wasn't going in circles. We were racing. So, and then when I was in the street, and I used to do handstands, one-arm handstands, and I used to go in like a circle. Not saying I invented 1990s. Not saying that. But what I'm saying is, it's funny how these things that were going on in my life, watching Shields and Yarnell doing the robot, and who would have thought that later this was all going to come into be a part of my life?
Yes.
Typical Brooklyn, playing sports in the street, going home when the lamp lights went on, and had a good childhood.
What part of Brooklyn? Where in Brooklyn?
Oh God, I lived everywhere, but this was down Flatbush by the Junction in Brooklyn. This is where I grew up when I was.
That's where you grew up? Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it like growing up there as a little girl, growing up to? Did you go to Catholic school or private school? Or did you go to public school?
No, I went to public school. No.
Okay. And can you tell us how that was growing up? Can you?
Well, what was great about it was that our block was real tight, and we still are. We still all talk because we all lived on the same block, and we all went to the same school. So, like, we were in school together, we played together on the weekends. We always had a game going on. It depended on who was home with the equipment. If you don't have equipment, then we play like punch ball, or if we had equipment, then we get a baseball game going. We skelly, and we always had something going on our block. So it was a really great place to grow up. You're just not middle class, but not like the low poverty. Listen, we went to bed at night with no lights, no heat, no food. Been there, done that. So
Oh yeah.
it just makes you that's how we all grew up. So you go to your friend's house and they don't got no lights. It's normal.
Do you recall any DJing going on, local DJs by any park around there? Do you recall that going on?
Hell yeah, man. Because
you remember that?
Block parties. That's what you went to the block. That's what I went to the block parties for. Yeah, it was nice during the day with the food, but we waited for the DJ to start jamming so we could get busy.
What kind of music was they playing when you first went to the first block party, and how old were you?
Oh my God, I've been going my whole life, but when mostly at that point they were still doing like the disco before it switched over.
They were doing the hustle. The hustle was out. John Travolta with Saturday Night Fever.
I did a lot of freestyle, and believe it or not, I was on the floor.
You were dancing hustle?
No, I used to hustle. I did everything, but I was already dancing, taking it to the floor.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we did these, but not breaking, not like footwork, not 6-step, nothing like that. But we were already in that frame of mind where you were on the floor.
Yeah.
Thing is, in school, I always stayed with all the blacks and the Puerto Ricans because they always got the best dance going on. So I was in the middle of it. That was me, and doing the bump and doing all that.
The bump. Yeah, with the high platforms and all that, the marshmallow shoes and turtlenecks, afros. That was that time. You're talking 70s now. You're talking like late 70s there.
Well, I've been dancing. I won my first dance contest when I was 3. So that already,
really?
Yeah, dance was that was my thing. I love passion. So, and the funny thing is when breaking's going on and up rock, and I was like, yeah, okay, locking had been around forever with the lockers from I've seen them on Soul Train and
Soul Train.
Shields and I don't know if you remember them. That was that white couple that used to do like them robots. They had a show. So me and my brother, we used to practice, and we're always putting on shows. So I was choreographing my whole entire life. So when it came to breaking, it was just natural for me to bring choreography into breakdance.
Okay, so what was your first experience with hip hop?
Oh, jeez.
How did you get into? Okay. I'm gonna have to say it like this. What was your first experience getting into breaking? Because that's what you were known for.
Okay,
a Bgirl.
I used to pop first, and okay, so all this is going on. The whole movement's going on. We got breakdancing, we got everything going on. Incredible Breakers are at the Fun House. New York City Breakers, everybody's over there. And so anyway, we got all this going on, but I wasn't so interested in the early, like the 80s. 82. There was Incredible Breakers had a guy named Mike Boogie. Oh my God, this dude was off the hook. And when he started popping, I never seen nobody got skills like him. I was like, I gotta do that. And the next day I woke up and I went in the mirror and I just started breaking it down,
Yeah. Wow.
What was the funniest moment?
I'm sorry, what was that?
In your hip hop career, what was your most funniest moment in your hip hop career?
What was my most what? Funny time?
Funniest moment.
Oh, I got one for you. Okay, so I got real good real quick. So in the beginning, I'm just teaching myself and I'm trying to make up moves because I'm doing my own thing. And we went down to Coney Island, Brooklyn, and this is I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a big, amusement park, the beach.
Yeah, the boardwalk, of course. I've been to Coney Island, of course.
So there was this ride called the Himalaya that had a slamming DJ, and everybody used to go over there. People ride in the line, but we went there to jam. So me and one of my girls are there, and there's a bunch of crowd going on, and I'm like the lightest person around, put it that way, the light bulb in the room.
Yeah.
So I see these dudes that popping and they're pretty good. And like, I'm just in the beginning of my stages. So I'm figuring, oh, I'm going to get in there and let me, oh my God, they dissed me so bad. They were like, pow. They were like, I was like,
wow.
They were like not friendly. So I was like, all right. The end of the summer, I'm friggin' nasty, man. My skills I'm just killing it. That's how good I got. So now I go back, right?
Do you remember what jams were going out? So it could give us a time frame, more or less, the music that was being played.
I'm going to tell you right now. So I go back and I tell my girl, I see the dudes because they're wearing the shirts. And I told my girlfriend, she's like, Kim, don't do it. I said, you go tell the DJ to play Buffalo Gals. Because at that time,
that was it.
That was Buffalo. My jam right then at that time. So I go over and the dudes recognize me. It wasn't that long. I was only there like maybe 6 weeks, 2 months ago. So they come over, right? And they start popping, challenging me. So I go in and I'm doing like really bad. Like I'm looking bad. I'm like going like this. Like really bad. And they're laughing at me. Everyone's laughing. I step out. The dude comes back in. Pa, poo, pa. He's all over the place. But I noticed he's starting to repeat his moves, which means he ain't got too many more.
He ain't got no moves. Yeah.
So I step in. They ain't put my song on. I'm looking. She's like, I'm like, hurry up. So I go in and I do exactly the same thing I just did. Really bad. They're laughing, go home, my girl. Everybody's like starting to like, really, get out of here, you whack, and blah, blah, blah. So the dude comes in one more time and I'm like, look, saying to myself, whether the song comes on or not, I can't get back in there. Do that thing again.
Wow.
Murder me.
Wow.
Like a movie. I step in the circle and I hear, boom, boom, bah, and I just went off. This dude was like, holy shit, where the hell did she come from? I just went off. I was all over. I was doing backflips into freaking worms. I was just all over. And everybody, but it was so funny because they were going to kill me. If I didn't go back in there and serve it up, I was in trouble.
Wow.
But so that was a really funny moment. I love that story because, then I was cool with them,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the period in time, what moves could you do better than anyone else for the period in time in history?
Well, I'll tell you something. I did a spin. I used to do a spin that I've never seen another human being do to this day. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have video, but I have testimonial from dynamic rockers, dynamic breakers, all kinds of incredible breakers. My name was Spinner before it was Kim-A-Kazi. You know how the ice skaters spin?
Yeah. Yes.
I used to spin like that on the floor. I used to wear the Weber boots, the little suede boots we used to call Weber when the Weber was out. And I used to do it on, because you cannot do it on the ball of your foot. It's impossible without a device. I used to do it on the heel of my foot. So it started out that during dance, I would just do like one turn on my heel. Then it started two. Then I found that sweet spot that I just got because
you could just keep going.
So as I was turning and you pull in your arms and your leg, because I'm on one leg now. Force, and that's how I met Spinner from Dynamic Rockers at the fun house because I have my shirt on from the Juice Crew and my name was Spinner. I still got that shirt. And he's like, yo, what you doing with my name? He goes, why they call you Spinner? So I says, okay. He goes, we're going to have to battle for the name. I said, all right. So he goes, show me why they call you Spinner. So I showed him the spin, and he's like, yo, it's yours. You got it. So, I mean, I didn't keep it. Obviously, he did. But, so it was that move. And to this day, I've never seen another female lift ice and spin a dude on their head. Like
what other move?
The helicopter. You see the dude on my head? Yeah, I'll get a better picture for you that don't have shine. So yeah, I don't know another female who ever did that move.
So questions. So the helicopter came from Dynamic? You guys were the ones who invented that move, the helicopter?
Not me. I got it from Kano and Flip from Dynamic. Yep.
So they were the ones who brung out that that
Yeah,
move.
they took it to the air. They took it to the
Is
air.
this your book?
Huh?
Is this your book?
No, this is just a photo book. I actually don't have a copy of my book. This was a pre-copy that I have because I gave my book away and I don't have an actual copy. This was a second copy. But if you could see this picture here,
Yeah, the helicopter.
see the guy on my head?
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
me at the first ever hip hop tour in existence. So you had Little Jermaine Dupri, Run DMC, Curtis Blow, Houdini, the Fat Boys, Nucleus. Actually, UTFO.
Wow.
Are you talking about the Fresh Fest?
Yeah, Fresh Fest.
Did you go to Florida?
No, the only reason I was on the Fresh Fest is because Flip, the guy who used to spin the other guys, broke his ankle or his foot.
Oh, okay.
I was the only one who could do the move and knew all the choreography and everything else. So I had to fill in for Flip. You see, even my manager never wanted us to overshadow the guys. And we were cool, but he left us out of everything. When the guys went on the Pepsi tour, he sent us on some Fugazi tour around the French Antilles, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Guyana. And we didn't know that our guys were on the Pepsi tour with the Jacksons.
Wow.
Wow. Also, that I think it's important that a lot of people don't realize is that Dynamic Breakers and the Dynamic Dolls had more sponsors than any other breakdance crews combined. I don't think anyone really had any sponsors.
Wow.
Seriously.
Wow.
That's serious. And I'm talking about Swatch Watch, Panasonic, JVC, Puma, Pony, Adidas, Imperial Toys. They made stickers and headbands. And I know I'm probably missing some because, Time Mark from The Last Dragon?
Time Mark?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So his mom was one of our managers. And I was talking to her recently, and she was reminding me of some other sponsors, Shams the Baron. And I mean, we had so many sponsors. It was ridiculous.
Wow. You guys were very well organized then.
Yes.
You knew what you were doing.
Professional. Well,
who was your manager? You guys had a manager, right? Who was your manager?
Our manager was Cord Hamilton and Loretta Rock, who is Time Mark's mother.
Mm-hmm.
They were our managers.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were always busy, always doing something, always busy. So that's why you don't really see a lot of, like at the jams, you see old videos from back in the day where there are jams or contests. We were on tour, man. I was never home.
You left the country? You left the United States?
Went to Italy twice, and that was craziness because when we went first to Italy in 1983, we went with a whole bunch of people. We did a whole hip hop movement over there. They have a dance festival every year on the island of Sardinia. I don't know this. What do I know from Brooklyn? To just because I'm Italian don't mean I know what's going on in Italy, you know?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
when I got there, I'm like, yo, listen, because I'm like the one who organizes everything all the time. So I'm like, listen, these people are not going to know who we are. So we don't want to have a half-filled audience. Let's take our headshots. Let's take flyers for the show. We'll take our boombox, that JVC. We had one from JVC, one from Panasonic, and go down and we'll do a little show and pass out the flyers so people know who we are and they'll come to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I find this little park with benches. And we don't want to put on the music too loud, so we're going off. And the next thing, and I have photos of this in my book, okay? Look at military police with all the ammunition on their chest.
Wow.
Oh, snap, we're going to jail. We're going to jail. Now my mom got to get a call that I'm in jail. It's bad enough she get a call, I'm in jail in New York. Now she's going to get a call, I'm in jail in Italy. Because I don't know, maybe it's illegal to dance in the street over there.
Mm-hmm.
People knew who we were, and they were, oh my God, there were thousands of people, man, and they had to get us out of there.
Wow.
People just packed us in. So I said, listen, can we at least do a little something? And I got a picture of my girl Susie Q with one of the Dynamic Breakers doing upright with like me and everybody else in the crowd watching. And so yeah, man, I was like, I didn't think how the hell they knew who we were, you know? It didn't have internet. We didn't even have pages back then.
When you went there, was anybody breakdancing besides you guys? Italy knew how to do it?
They were just starting to like learn. And I have a picture of these two kids. They're trying to do the helicopter. You know, they were asking us to
wow.
They were asking us to like help and show them moves. But you know what really means a lot to me? Like I have a testimonial in my book where the Fresh Fest tour went to Philly. And these guys were like, yo, of course we want to see Run DMC and everybody, but we came to see Dynamic Breakers because we had heard about these guys. We had seen some of them on like the Roxy contest and everything. And we knew their names, but we didn't know who was who.
Yeah.
And he's like, he goes, and let me tell you, you know we went home and did all your moves. He goes, and I said, but that's the way it's supposed to be. And then you make it your own, you know. He said, and we were like, wait, is that a girl? Oh, he goes, actually, I think I said, yo, is that a white girl? He's like, we were bugging out. We could not believe that we were watching a white girl dance at that level and then picking up these dudes. He goes, Kim, I'll never forget. And he put that in my book for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I wasn't supposed to be on that tour. It was like a surprise.
Would you say at the time that you were out, you guys were like the best or one of the best? Where do you rate Dynamic? Compared to New York City Breakers, Incredible Breakers, Manhattan Boys, yeah, Dynamic Dolls, Rocksteady. Where do you?
All right,
Furious Rockers.
Let me tell you, Furious Rockers. That's my ex's crew, so I can't say nothing.
Okay.
Put it this way: Incredible Breakers were damn incredible, man. They were taking out everybody on the back.
I heard.
To have Flo, Kid Freeze, God rest his soul. Flo, what was a doll? Yo, Chino and Bryant tore that shit up on the backstage. You better come correct if you forget it. You know how many dudes would not? They go, oh yeah, we went to the fun house. You did not go to the fun house because you got your ass smoked and you did not show up again. So don't even pull that shit because I was there every weekend. I got a book. And I don't know when my other one's 1982. I got a calendar book like this to write all my appointments. I could tell you who performed at the Funhouse every Friday and Saturday night through the whole year in 1982.
Were you related to someone that owned the Funhouse or something, or?
Yeah, my uncle was one of the owners, but I didn't never tell nobody.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't even know if he was going to let me in because I was young. I was under.
Right.
So you know, I wasn't all like, yo, my uncle's the owner. I told my girlfriends that run with me, I hope he lets me in. I hope he don't send me home because he knows how old I am, you know. And then we walk in and he's like this, you know. He's got that face. And
yeah.
I looked at him and he was like, and that was it. I was in. In fact, we just were doing, a friend of mine's doing an official Funhouse documentary. We just went in August to finish it with my uncle.
Wow. That's good. That's great.
Yeah. That was a phenomenal place. Let me tell you, nothing like it never will be again. You had every kind of dancer no matter where you were from, no fights.
Wow.
Taking on the dance floor, whether there was the kick dancing and the bugging, those are two dances that were created from the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Two dances. Now they kind of call it shuffling, but these kids today, they have no idea that there are kicks and doubles, Russian splits that go along with that dance. And we talk about this in the Funhouse documentary. But it was like an incredible place where you come and you show your skills, but if you're going to battle somebody, you better be prepared because Incredible Breakers ran that backstage. But as far as the best, I will tell you this. Not all Dynamic was like the best breakers. I mean, Airborne took out the whole Rocksteady crew at Roxy one night, just me and him. Okay, Airborne.
Wow.
Airborne was nasty, but you had so many great breakers. But Dynamic was, we were showmen, you know, we were performers. You know, we put comedy and acrobat and all kinds of
You were
stuff.
putting shows out. You were putting entertainment. That's what you were doing.
Right. In other words, like
Routines.
there's moves that you do in front of an audience, a paid audience, that you ain't going to do in a battle.
Right. Right.
You know, audience don't know what breaking is, so they like flips and those kind of things. Oh, you know, they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're doing air flares, they don't know that how difficult these things are. You know, so they like certain things, but you're not gonna do those kind of moves. And you know what I'm talking about in a battle, which you would do in a show. So, but
Damn, that would be good if you could go to the Olympics and be a judge. Because
no.
you wouldn't do it?
Nah.
No.
Nah, listen, my time has passed. I always will be there for anybody who wants history, information, kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you got to make room for the younger kids. This is
You got to pass the torch. You got to pass the torch.
I don't even know all the names of the new moves coming out, so I'm not really qualified, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
You know? If you can't do something well, I won't do it. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
What would you say was your hardest but best battle you ever had?
Oh, man. That's hard. Because, to be honest with you, and I swear I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but most people wouldn't bat me. No guy wants to be taken out by a female.
Wow.
So basically, seriously. So like you had like, oh, rest in peace, Little Shake. He was phenomenal. He's also in our Beat Street Strut video. And, you know, you had a lot of great people, but we didn't go hard. We were like,
yeah.
And then there wasn't really no other female crews to take us out. They couldn't even compare. So it's like we used to have to battle the guys.
The guys.
So, you know, it's like that's a hard question for me to answer. And it's just because, like I said, either guys did not want to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was we happened to be in Studio 54 where we didn't go much, but we worked there. We did a couple of shows there for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
We were there one night and somebody says, yo, Roseland is having a big breakdance contest for like big buck, you know? And I was like, yo, but we don't got no hookup there. And we never carried money because we're everywhere free, you know? So they was like charging a lot to get in. So like, damn, we could get that money. How are we going to get in there? So, this dude just happened to be a neighbor of one of the dolls. And he comes, swear to God, he comes up and he goes, yo, JC, I just got paid. Hold my money. I don't want to blow all my money tonight because I need, you know, I got to pay my bills. Hold my money. When I'm ready to leave, I'll get it from you. And we're like, cha-ching. Now we know how we're getting in. We took the dude's money.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is how sure we were going to win. Okay.
Yeah.
And we went there and we got in. But as soon as we entered the contest, everybody else started dropping out. And I was like, that's not right. Don't do that.
Wow.
Don't do that. Get out there and show your thing. I mean, what if we have a bad day? What if you do something they like better? Don't ever give up.
Yeah.
You go out there and you do your best. But that's what used to happen. They would drop out, you know.
So you guys won?
Yeah, we won. I don't think we ever lost anything ever, to be honest with you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Were you like a family? Your crew was like a family. Everybody knew each other. Everybody hung together.
Especially when you're on tour and you are constantly together. You know, you sleep on the tour bus together. And the guys were like, they're my brothers, man. Those are my brothers. And we still, you know, come to my house. I know your kids, you know my kids, you know. And like when we used to have to change, if we had a dressing room, because I always went wherever we were going to perform, We would go to like a new city, a new state, wherever we were. I would always go before and check out where we were going to perform, where the dressing rooms are, the lighting, and all stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
A dressing room that was like really too far for us to change, because sometimes we would perform with dynamic the guys and then change our clothes and just go out as the dolls. If we didn't have time to run all the way back and change, the guys would take a blanket, put it around us so we could,
change.
On tour, I was the only female, so where I had to sleep in the room with all the guys. I had to sleep on the tour bus with all the guys. You know? So yeah, they're like my family. Plus, they
What
knew.
states did you go to?
What, honey?
What states did you go to?
Oh my geez. I have a list. I don't know. There were so many. You know, when you do just constantly going and going and going and going, it's like, put it this way. When we were on the Swatch Watch tour, we got home and take care of business, which you got to take care of there. I didn't even have time to do my laundry. My guy cousin took my laundry. Now, I always wore pink and white, pink and gray. He said, please wash my clothes. I don't have no time. He's like, all right, I'll wash your clothes. And he's like, I'm never washing your clothes. All the ladies were telling me, because everything of his, they thought it was his. Was pink.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You know what? It looks stupid, but that's how busy we were that I didn't even have time to do my laundry. So a lot of times I have paperwork that I can look at and tell you we were here on this date. We went to this city on this date. I have the schedule that told you who went first on stage, how long they were. Usually the dancers had one on stage. So Jermaine Dupri would go. He had like 5 minutes. He would do his little thing, and then you'd have like maybe the Fat Boys would go up, and then somebody else would, and then we would dance in the middle stage. And then you had Mac Force would perform, and I have the whole schedule of like that night, how long they were on, what time they went on, and I had to be coordinated. So I have a lot of little memorabilia like that.
Yeah.
That can tell you who, what, where, when, how.
Wow.
I'm lucky I know what I did last week. 40 years ago.
Yeah. What was it like leaving the country to another country, leaving the USA? And was it like a culture shock to you?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, that's one thing when you're young, it's like everything you just take it in stride. I look back at some of the stuff that we did and I'm like, damn. But to me, it's just like, all right, we're doing this. You got famous movie stars sitting right next to you, the president of the United States. I'm sitting there talking to Gene Kelly for an hour. I mean, it's all just when you're young, things roll off your back, you go with the flow, you know what I'm saying?
You go with the flow, yeah.
And like now when I look back and I'm like, oh my God, what an incredible opportunity that was. Like, to me, it was just work. We're doing work and it was fun and everything, but, you don't get to enjoy too much. You're working hard. So, but yeah, it was like the money thing was hard for me because I was lucky I had money before I started dancing. Now you got to learn about this foreign money and stuff, So I see that had these pink and white Carrera sunglasses in Italy. So I'm like, how much? And the dude's like, I don't know, something like, 50 million lira. And I'm like, oh, what is that? Like $5? I don't know. I wound up paying. Now remember, it's 1983. I paid $85 cash for those glasses.
Damn.
And then they stole them when I was on tour in Guadalupe. They broke in our dressing room and stole my damn Carrera or something.
In Mexico?
No, in Guadalupe.
Oh, Guadalupe. Okay. Wow.
Oh God. Yeah. So it was cool, but like I said, I don't know. It was like when you're young, you just go with the flow. Would
you say you were treated? Would you say you were treated equally, even though you were a girl? You were treated with respect.
Where?
Yeah.
Overseas? Oh yeah, definitely. Only here. Only home. People gave us a hard time, and I said, don't think I got any pass because I'm white. Because when you went into them big corporations, when you were gonna try to get a commercial, an audition. Audition? Yeah.
Yeah.
Secretaries still hiding their purse, locking the, when we would come in. And so, yeah, don't think I got any.
Oh man.
But yeah, so,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have more slack from my own peers, my
yeah.
own other B-boys and,
Yes.
B-girls.
What's
Mhm.
in your book?
What's in
Your book?
my book?
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of photographs and memorabilia, a lot of things I just told you. Starts from what I told you when I grow up and, how I started and how I started dancing. And I take you on tour with us. So I try to let people feel what it was like to be on these tours and funny stories. And when you're tired and you still got to perform and things don't go right and just, historic events. For instance, when the Swatch tour, the Fresh Fest started, before we all got our tour buses, we were all on one bus, like a big Greyhound. So it's, Run DMC, Kurzweil, Houdini, everybody, other people, everybody's all around. And I said,
Oh, everybody was in the same bus?
When we first started it, then we all got our own tour buses.
Okay.
But the first trip, sorry, excuse me. The first trip, we were all on the same bus. So if I could have had this on video, this was historic. Okay, so we're all hanging out. Who's listening? Who's writing? Who's rapping? Who's this? Who's talking? And then all of a sudden, I don't know how we started, but everybody had to freestyle. So you spit in a rhyme. You had two lines, and then pass it.
2 bars.
About all these people and the talent that's on this bus and freestyling all the way to the back of the bus, all the way back up the front. We even made the bus driver do it. And everybody, it was like, man, and just, so you're freestyling. So you got shit that was coming out that, oh my God, it was amazing. I was like, damn, we should have had that on a video or something.
Did you write or you didn't get into graffiti?
No, I did little tags in my name. I thought you meant rap. Yeah, because I wrote, I had a rap for the dolls.
Okay.
Sometimes after you perform, they want to interview you and they want to, can you rap? So I had to write, rap for the girls. And here's another example about my manager. So the guys were doing, the Dynamic has a record, Diamond Breakers, Total Control.
Mm-hmm.
If you never heard it. So they pull us in the back and to do the background. Or that's fresh, all those little things in, background.
Yeah.
So we were at Sunshine Records, Joe Webb, he, is in charge over there. And we're hanging out waiting for them to finish whatever. So we're in the recording studio. So they're playing a beat, they just got the beat going. So we start doing the rhyme that I wrote for all the girls. And Joe Webb was like, whoa, what's that? What are you doing? What is that? What is that? And I was like, I wrote this, started recording right there.
Cool.
Almost done with the record. My manager walks in and throws a fit. Yo, we're not here for that. We're here to do this album. Joe Webb's like, we're going to get back with this. Because then Charles Stetler wanted to do something. He was the Fat Boys manager. He's, Tim Pan Apple. But nothing ever came of that either, So, yeah, I did write back in the day, but I don't think...
Were you around when the movie Crush Grooving came out?
Yeah, I wasn't here. I was away.
Oh, you were on tour?
Yeah, that's how I missed. I was supposed to be in, Beach Street, I quit the first day. That's why you got just a little piece of me in there in the beginning.
Yeah.
Breaking 2, I was supposed to be in, and when Boogaloo Shrimp called me to let me know that they were doing casting, I was out of the country. When I came back and I got his message and I called him, his mom told me he was in Germany. And then we played like phone tag like that. And then I'm with the dolls down on Times Square. And I'm looking, I see these females and I'm like, they look familiar. And they're looking at me and I'm looking at them. And it was Cindy Dickey's family, the girl from the one girl from Breaking, Electric Boogaloo. Because her sister looked like her. And so we stopped and we started talking, and they're like, yeah, they already started filming and da. So I was like, okay. Towards the end of that, I wasn't, so I missed being in that too. Plus, I had the lead role in Body Rock with Lorenzo Lamas.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me the lead role, but I didn't do that because then they hit me up after all of that. They start filming and they're like, oh, you don't have a problem with nudity. I says, I only do. They were like, okay, bye. That was it.
Wow. Okay.
But you know what? I'm glad because it wasn't about the fame. For me, it was about passion and dancing. I didn't even know I was auditioning for a damn movie. And I explained that in my book, how that happened. But I have a grown son. I'm glad my son don't got to be, you know, embarrassed of mom.
Yeah. But he knows your history. You told him about your journey and stuff, right?
My son is one of the few kids that were born from a professional female breakdancer, B-boy, and a B-girl, because his dad was in the Furious Rockets.
Okay. Okay.
And Bono and Susie from Dynamic.
They're from Coney Island, right? The Furious Rockets was from Coney Island, right?
Yes. Yep.
They were out there battling too with you guys at the time. You were out there. You would see them too presented.
Yeah, there was Break to Dawn. They had so many crews. There's no way I could remember them all, but you know, they were out there doing the thing. As a matter of fact, we were requested to do the video. Hey DJ, won't you play that song? Hey DJ,
that song, Keep Me Dancing All Night. Yeah.
So they asked us if we could help do auditions. We held so many auditions for so many things. I used to do it the Roxy because like that was our home away from home. We used to do the Roxy during the day to like practice if we didn't have studio time or whatever. And that's when I met Furious because they already knew my girl Susie Q, the one I used to spin on my head.
Yeah.
And you know, we gave them, you know, we put them in the video, and then I think we had to go somewhere or do something and wound up we weren't even in the video at the end. We didn't even do the video because you're so busy, you have conflict of interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they wound up doing it with, I don't know, some other people, whatever.
Brenda K-Star was a B-girl too, or no?
She was a dynamic doll when we first started.
She was a dynamic doll. You
know the Kennedy Center Honors? That's a historic piece right there where they said New York City Breakers, but it was Dynamic Dolls, New York City Breakers. You had some Rocksteady, you had Mag Force, you know, in front of the President of the United States. You must
yeah, I remember that.
It's funny how all the Dynamic Dolls, all our dance was cut out of that. It's amazing, you know. Me and Susie go in, start doing a little up and footwork, and that's it. Everything else was solos, or battle, Brenda K, all gone.
Wow.
Imagine sitting at home with your family, you know. That was messed up, man. I was really pissed about that because they once again, Dynamic Dolls are this. They cut the girls out.
Eight balling. They putting that 8-ball in. They don't, they don't want to let you win.
Yep, that's right.
They don't want to let you win.
I know who did that. Who did that?
Let me ask you a question. Did you ever teach anyone how to break? Did you ever pass on your skills to anyone?
Absolutely, anybody who wanted it. But, you know, it's funny you asked that question because I cannot remember what group. And it wasn't like Rolls Royce, but it was who I loved. It was one of them old groups. Like it wasn't Gladys Knight and the Pips, but it was like Rolls Royce. It was one of those groups with the one female and the 3 guys, and I can't remember. And
Shalimar?
No,
Atlantic Star?
I can't remember. Maybe Atlantic Star. Maybe.
What song did they sing?
Don't listen. I don't know. I was in the middle of doing a live show, which I almost was late for, auditioning for the movie that I told you, the Body Rock. I was in Manhattan. I had to do a live television show at Regis Philbin, which I almost missed because I was all over.
What you said it was 2 girls and a guy?
1 guy, 3 girls.
Could have been Atlantic Star.
I'm sorry. 1 girl, 3 guys. or was it 4? Anyway, I have the paperwork from what happened is they auctioned off for charity breakdance lessons. And they won the bid. And I was so happy to do it because I love them, but I cannot remember who it was. I also suffered a lot of really bad injuries. So I had really bad fibromyalgia, which destroys your memory.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons I wrote this book, because these guys in Greece were like, after me, Kim, you got history, you got to write this book. I didn't want to do it. But I was like, I better write this book while I still remember who the hell I am.
Yeah.
I laugh, but it does. It destroys your gray brain matter. It steals my memory. So this is what I'm saying. I can't.
Yes, I understand. How many pages are in the book?
There's like 200. This isn't the real. It's like 240 pages, I think.
Can anyone order that book? Is it on Amazon or Barnes Book and Nobles?
Everywhere.
You got to share that link, so you got to put that up there so we can broadcast your book there.
eBay, anywhere that sells books, you can get it, and they also have it in Kindle and ebook, where the photos, when you get it in a Kindle or an ebook, are phenomenal. The printer, because I published this myself. I published it myself, and they messed up my photos. They made them small in the book, so I wasn't happy with it. Anyway, but yeah.
Okay, I got a question. How do you know Ralphie? Where did you meet Ralphie? How do you know Ralphie?
God.
Better known as King Uprock, right? KU. How do you know him? How far back do you go with him? Like, how did you meet?
40 years.
40 years you know him?
40 years, we go back, way back.
Wow.
Let me tell you something about Ralph, okay? I respect him so much, not only for his own contributions and history and to keep it going and for the kids, but because he's one of the very few, and I mean few, besides myself, who tells it just the way it is.
Yes.
I don't lie for me. Lie for me. I ain't lying for you. And
Facts.
You could say I was whack. You could say that you can't call me a liar. And if you do, you're full of shit, because I don't never lie.
Exactly. I agree.
And he's like that. He gives props, and to whoever deserves it. It don't matter who you are, what crew you with. And that's what I loved about Frosty Freeze, because Frosty was like that. We didn't give a shit what crew I was with. We liked each other. We got along. We were cool, and that's the way we all were. We didn't do that street shit, whatever, But that's why I always liked him. And he's legit, and he knows his history.
Yes, he does.
People, you want to know? Ask up King Uprock.
I know. I thought I knew something. I didn't know shit. Till I met him. Now I know a lot. I still don't know everything, but I know a lot.
Can't know everything.
Yeah.
You're loud, Marco. You're too loud. You got to turn down your volume.
I'm too loud?
What's loud?
Marco's too loud.
Oh, you're saying my voice?
So you've got a big mouth.
Let me see. Let me try this. Okay, on the side here. I don't want to turn us off. Okay, right there. How about now?
Just talk quietly.
Okay. All right. Everybody says I'm loud, man.
So, New York is Italian. I got both were loud. But, I had said this on a documentary I did with Kid Freeze. And I said, this is the way I say. We're like a puzzle, okay? Every one of us are like a piece of that puzzle. Some may be bigger, some may be smaller, some have more color, but every single one of us are just as important as the next, because you can't put the whole picture together without all of us. So
we're all connected.
Right. Why can't you just be proud of your contribution? Why can't you just keep it real and be proud for what you did? It don't matter that some did. Some have street credit. Some have more professional credit.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't matter because we all, you know what? You did it. You put in the work. We went home black and blue, man. Cramps in the middle of the night. I got thrown out of my house. I was like, I worked. You had to contribute. You had to contribute. So I worked half my paycheck. Went to the house. And I was like, I know I can do this. Give me 6 months. My mother don't know what the hell hip hop and breakdance. She don't know what the hell that shit is. She's like, you ain't quitting your job. You quit your job, you better go. So of course, you know what? I chose. I left.
You left.
I got thrown out of my house because it was a passion and the dedication that we all had to put into be good. You got to do the work, man. You got to be there. You got to do it. Why isn't that good enough that you were dedicated and part of the movement? Why? Why you got to step on everyone else to try to like get more shine? I don't get that.
You're right. Exactly.
The only time I get cocky is when people try to like bury our history, because you know what? We're important. We're important in a lot of ways, and there's a lot of people that have no clue how integrated the dynamic dolls are in the history of hip hop and breakdancing. No,
well, you know they're doing music. They're doing a museum, I believe, in Queens pretty soon.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to get your props there, your crew finally.
Any of them, they don't put me in nothing.
No.
Not one. And
the people are going to want to know now, because for you to make a book, you're something. You're somebody. Come on now. They're going to have no choice but to put your name in there.
That I would love to give. I have my Swatch Watch shirt from the friggin'.
Oh my God.
I got the shirt. I got so much memorabilia that's important that I would like to preserve somewhere. It's not about me.
A museum would take that right away.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not going to let them have my stuff and diss me because some dude already tried that on me once before. Oh, yeah, we're inducting you. And yeah. Bring your stuff. Yo, I'm from Brooklyn. You gotta do better than that, pal. You ain't getting over on me. I hand over my shit and you slam the door. Nah,
that ain't cool. That's foul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would like it to be enjoyed by other people. I got a Swatch Watch. I got the ticket from not the stub, the actual ticket from the Swatch Watch Fresh Fest tour.
I had that Swatch from the Fresh because my ex, the mother of my daughter, Lacey Lace, she's the one who made the record. The parents of Roxanne with Gigolo Tony on the Foresight Records from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh,
but she's actually from New York. Yeah, she was rapping at the same time Sparky D was. Sparky D and the Playgirls, Roxanne Shante, the real Roxanne. She was out there. She busted out the record. The parents of Roxanne, they had the daughter Roxanne.
We were on the tour. I'm on the tour bus. When I told you the first leg of the journey, we were all on that one bus.
Yeah.
So Doc Ice from UTFO comes over and he's like, yo, Kim, check it out. We just did this down, I don't know, whose basement, whatever. He had a Walkman. So he gives me it to listen to it. You know what it was, right? Roxanne.
Roxanne. Yeah, the real Roxanne.
I was like, I didn't even have to listen to more than like 10 seconds. And I was like, oh my God, you got to hit.
When UTFO, that was hard. That was hard. Roxanne Shante was it. She was it. Gotta give the props to her. Gotta give her flowers. Roxanne Shante was murdering the mic.
Everybody was important. They're the pieces of the puzzle, man. They all they're all important. That's what I try to say. You know, it's not about who, you know, I mean, just we're all part of this movement in one way or another. There are people whose names you'll never know who contributed to the movement.
But you want to know something? And my father taught me this. When you want to know about history, you go to the oldest person around and you ask him what he saw.
The best classroom is at the foot of an elderly person.
Yes. Not someone that's 7 years younger than me is going to tell me about history when I'm 7 years older. I've been around the world 7 years more than him. How's he going to tell me tell me history? You
know, it's funny, just in daily life, like when I was in Vegas and I used to live in Vegas and I called up because the cable bills were ridiculous. So the dude gets on the phone with me and we're talking, and I'm like, he's like, "Oh, you from New York, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I could tell." He goes, My cousin was from the Bronx, and I don't know where he came from, Detroit, wherever." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, you go spend the summers with my brother in the Bronx, and yo, we be breaking." He goes, "But you probably don't know nothing about that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know nothing about that."
Oh wow.
Then I kind of told him. He's like, "What? Oh shit, that's you!" All of a sudden, I got an $85 discount. Imagine that shit.
Wow.
Discount. He gave me a code and everything. I was like, "All right." So it's just so funny. He's like, just a regular talking that came up.
So you lived in Las Vegas, Nevada?
Yeah. We left Brooklyn. My son was going into middle school, was it, or no, high school. And I was like, yo, where we live was getting really bad. I was out in Canarsie and South Shore.
Yeah, Canarsie.
South Shore was bad. I'm like, I didn't put my son there. And I couldn't afford to pay taxes in Long Island. So my parents and I had other family out in Vegas. So as a family, we decided to go out there. And my son is still there. He won't move. I told you, he said, I ain't going to Florida with them old people. So he got his life in Vegas.
So did you ever see the strange lights in the sky, or that's just a myth?
I ain't even going that. That's a whole other show.
Oh, so you have seen stuff. I mean, I've seen it too. I've seen it in Connecticut. I see it here in Peru all the time.
I just know stuff, but that's a whole other. You're gonna make David nervous. Look, he's like, no.
Yeah, I talk too loud. He says, and I put my volume all the way down.
On my show.
I put my volume all the way down. I did.
You have anything you want to know, David?
David.
Just any last words and shout outs that you want to give out to anyone, Kim?
Oh God, there's so many people. Definitely
Go for it. Go for it,
shout
man.
out
Go
to
for
my
it.
brothers, Incredible Breakers, including the twins, Morris and Manny, which most people don't know about. Dynamic Breakers, Dynamic Rockers. Got to give some love over there. My girls, Dynamic Dolls, wherever you may be. And everybody else from back in the day, New York City Breakers, can't leave those dudes out. Furious Rockers. I mean, all of them, man, all of them. We all go way back. Whether they don't want to talk to or about me, that's on them. But you know what? I'm always going to give them love because we all work together. We came up together. And that means something to me. So I ain't in competition with nobody but myself.
Okay, what kind of advice would you give an upcoming b-boy or b-girl that's trying to get into the field today? Because it's also a profession now. It's actually an income. You know what I mean? It's
in the Olympics.
Yes. There, if you know how to break, it's a job now too. It's a job.
Well, I
Not
guess
occupation.
the best advice I always like to give is practice. Try not to ever throw out a new move unless you're pretty sure, because I'm a walking billboard for injuries, lifelong injuries. My neck bone is crushed up against my brainstem. Every disc in my back is blown, shot, disintegrated. My back is curved, scoliosis. My pelvis is twisted. I tore the ligament. I mean, my list is so long, and I just kept going. You don't want to be me. So
Wow.
take it. And I always say, always have plan B. So if you're doing a move and it don't turn out right, have something to go into. So it always looks like you meant that shit. Whether you're in a battle or, you're performing, always have a plan B. So it always looks like you meant to do it, and just put yourself into it. You gotta be yourself. Don't try to be like the other one. Everybody has their own style and their own flavor. So that's what makes you you.
I got another question for you. Thor, take it easy. When you were coming up, did you see any uprocking taking place in like gyms or Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, or the parks? Did you ever see any uprock battles? I'm not talking about breaking. I'm talking about actually uprock battles.
Everywhere.
Really?
Always, yeah. Are you kidding me? And the parks, and we would, after the club, we would go hit Washington Square.
Yeah, Manhattan.
We'd be, man, yeah. Up rocking was a big deal. And that's what I said. Incredible Breakers. Oh my God. They were so nasty with their up rock.
I mean, it was just up rock. That's it. It was just an up rock battle. That's it. Like, that's all.
Not, I mean, eventually, you know, everybody would throw in something else, but yeah, there were a lot of up rock battles.
No, but I'm just saying I'm just saying strictly up rock dancing, like what Ralphie does, you know, that up rock.
No, I didn't go like where he was to those kind of things. No, but it's so funny because, see, my girl Susie, that's the picture I got in Italy. They're up rocking. She loved, that was her thing, man. She could take
Wow.
it. So when we're doing the Beat Street Strut video, right, we were on a recess and I'm, you know, going, I got clothes coming from Puma for us to change. I'm busy. And as a matter of fact, so Clown, this guy Clown, we put him in the video.
I know it's Clown. Yeah, I know it's Clown.
Right. All everybody and Clown was going with Susie. That everybody was doing up rock. Everyone was battling. Everybody was paired off and battling. And this is just on a break. And I'm running back and forth, and he keeps calling me out and calling me out. And yo, Kim, yo, yeah, you afraid? You keep running. You know, he's wrestling. He wants me to come and battle him. And I'm busy. And then finally I got so like, I gotta shut this dude up. So I run over. Susie moves. We go at it. We go down. Second time, third time we go down. I took his pants with him and I turned around and
oh wow.
And everybody just like burst out laughing. So like even on a break to the video where we're dancing all day from the morning, what are we doing on the break? Everybody was up rocking. Nobody was breaking. Everybody was up rocking, battling each other. So yeah, there were people just like, that was the thing, man. They love it.
Because I'm thinking like New York was the only place where they actually had just strictly up rocking battles. I mean, it had nothing to do with breakdancing or popping or electric boogie or ticking or just strictly up rock battles. One team against another team going at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the only that I've heard that existed was Brooklyn, New York, and a place called in Massachusetts, a place called Chicopee, Massachusetts. Actually, not Chicopee. It was Holyoke. I heard there was up rock battles in gyms in Holyoke. I don't know how true that is.
You have to ask Ralph. He would
but I'm pretty sure it was Brooklyn Knights that brung it over there. Yeah. Brooklyn Cats brung it over to Holyoke, and they actually had up rock squads that went at it against each other. Had nothing to do with breakdancing. This was just pure up rock.
Yeah, right. But that's what they used to do with the rock dance.
Now, where I'm from, Hartford, Connecticut, that was in the streets, but it was only from one gang that I used to see do it all the time, which was the Savage Nomads. But the first time I saw it in New York when I was younger. Before I saw it in the early 80s from the Savage Nomads, late 70s from the Savage Nomads, I had already seen that dance on a visit to New York. I had saw it in the Bronx. I had seen, and there were nomads that were going at it. You know what I mean? There were nomads, and I was like, "What is that?"
I didn't start doing up rock till I was joining with the Juice Crew, and then I went on with Dynamic Rockets for a little while, and I left them, and then I was with another crew, the Incredible Body Mechanics, and then eventually Dynamic, and that was it. That was my home. But it's like you're just so used to it always being everywhere you went. Like Susie lived in Harlem, and the whole friggin' block would be out either with their cardboard, who was up rocking, who was it was just like part of the scenery. Like, it's just.
Do you remember the DJs that were out in them days? Like infamous DJs? Do you remember who was playing?
I'll be honest with you. I got no knowledge when it comes to that.
You wasn't one of them females that was sweating the DJ, right?
I was on the dance floor. I didn't care who was putting the record. Just play my damn song, and I'm happy. Seriously. Yeah. I couldn't be involved in everything, Yeah. I can't be everywhere. But no, I was like, I'm really bad with that. I don't know. We were at the fun house and there was some great DJs there. And, Jelly Bean, of course, got his start there. And I can't even tell you who half of them were. But my friends will tell you because they know. They'll tell you the whole history.
Wow.
I was there, but I was in a whole other world. I wasn't caring who put the record on. Just put it on. Just play the music. That's all I cared about. club that used to bring duffel bags with change of clothes, baby.
Yeah.
Because
I know what you're talking about.
until we were soaking wet.
Wow.
So clean, and because Madonna, she was a big biter. Madonna, that's where she got her start. Lisa, and do you know Run DMC recorded live "Here We Go"? Oh, was it? Wait, not Here We Go. Was it Here We Go? I think it was Here We Go in 1983 in the Funhouse.
Really?
And then
I seen him when I didn't go to the show. It was just crowded. It was outside in the street. Are you familiar with Staten Island? Did you ever hear a club called Park Villa?
If I did, I don't remember.
On Van Dusen in Richmond, on Beach Street.
Beach Street.
Well, I was there when they
I was there in August.
Oh, you was in Beach Street?
Yep.
Okay, so you've been out there to Staten Island then.
That's that place they play at night. They use a restaurant, but they got a deck. Is that the one by the beach?
No. I'm talking about Beach Street in Staten Island.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay.
Isn't that by the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I was just there in August.
Okay. What did you do there?
Well, I went in for a Funhouse reunion party. I went into, we filmed the ending of the Funhouse documentary with my uncle, I was telling you, and then hook up with, some family and friends around, and, I got.
When are they going to air that? That documentary is going to be on YouTube or what?
It's being edited, and they want to kind of get a big venue. They want to sell it, have somebody. It's a big part of history, really is. I mean, you had like Michael Jackson coming to check it out because he heard about the dancing that went on there. They got Sylvester Stallone.
Wow.
And like I said, Madonna got her start there. Lisa was discovered there. My career started at the Funhouse. The incredible break.
Wow.
The history at the Funhouse is phenomenal, and you would never, ever, ever find a place where everybody who walked in there felt like they were the king. Like John Travolta walks in.
Yeah.
Everybody had
Stallion.
where nobody took your shit. You put your bag down. You had your real estate. The place was just man. That's why everybody went there. Because everybody who had hustlers, freestyles, lofting, Webo, backstage was hip hop. This was kick dancing, and the Bgirls were over here. And, I was sitting in the VIP room, and I said, I got the record. Herbie Hancock happens to walk out of the DJ booth, and he's like, here, you want this? And I said, okay. He hands me his album.
Wow.
To this day, man, it's numbered, not for sale and promotion.
Yeah.
Who you were gonna run into,
Yeah.
Crazy place. But yeah.
So let me ask you another question. So YouTube seems to be the thing going on right now. You have a lot of experience. Maybe coming out with your own channel. Maybe you think you would do that? Would you like to do that?
Funny.
Because I think you could do it because you were there.
Well,
you could go around interviewing B-girls and B-boys worldwide.
Something I might look into. I'm starting a new. I think we're going to do it on Instagram though.
I think you would do good. I really do. I think you would do good because you were there.
This month, it's called "Putting It in Perspective" with Kim-A-Kazi and.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Putting it in perspective.
It's going to be about everything, not just breakdancing. Anybody who needs help with relationships. We're going to discuss all topics. We'll have it about, breaking and hip hop. We'll have some people on every once in a while, just going to be about everything. But whatever it is, we'll put it in. Do you
watch any YouTubers now? Are you familiar with any YouTube broadcasters right now that are on YouTube? Do you watch any of them?
I catch them here and there. I've been through a lot in my personal life right now. So I got a lot going on. I just lost my husband. I had to move. We bought our home, and he died a year after we bought our home, and I had to leave. And I just been going.
I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
So I'm a writer. I have can't tell you how many half-written novels on my computer. So I have to get back to my books because that's really what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah,
because you have a Spanish last name, right? Latin.
Valente.
Valente, yeah. Yeah, you have Valente. Is it Dominican or Puerto Rican?
It's Italian.
Oh, really?
My son's name, Perellas. My son is Spanish, Puerto Rican. Perellas. That's my son.
Okay.
Mine is Valente. It's Italian. My husband was Italian too.
Okay. And he just passed away a year ago?
No, 3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago. Sorry to hear that.
Died. We just bought our forever home, and he died a year later. So,
And your husband was a furious rocker?
No, my son's father.
Oh, your son's father. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. But I'm glad we finally got to do this interview with you because people need to hear about you. Hopefully we'll get this translated in Spanish too, because the Spanish community is huge and they want to know everything when it comes to New York, because New York is known as the motherland. You know what I mean? The motherland of everything. And
I have to
they
tell
want to know.
These B-girls today, man, I have to tell you, without trying to sound, like any way, I feel like a proud mother. Like when I see these females, like just, I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud that there's females out there that are really just blowing it away.
Oh my God! Yeah, you just saw the BC. Did you get to see the? They just had it in New York. Did you get to see it? I saw it on YouTube. Oh man, incredible!
I love it.
Incredible. Where breaking is at a higher level than you could imagine. But it's been at that level for the past 10 years. Because if you see some of these videos on YouTube, the moves are just crazy incredible. Crazy incredible.
But you know what I think is nice? I think that the B-boys are more willing to teach the B-girls. And now, like, we didn't start until we were teenagers. Like today, you could start as soon as you could crawl, My son was doing little footwork on his diapers, But we were teenagers, But they didn't want to teach us, so we had to learn on our own. But it's nice to see that I have a lot of B-girls telling me that the guys are willing to help them and teach them, and that I'm happy to hear, because they should have some support,
Yeah.
Throwing ourselves on the floor trying to do windmills, nobody was showing us how to do them. We just had to figure it out,
And now everybody that was breaking back then, as you get older, you start feeling them injuries.
Oh yeah, we're all broken now.
They all come back. All them injuries hit you when you're in your 50s and up. You start feeling it. Your back, your side, your knee.
Try explaining it to your doctor.
Oh, God, forget that one.
They're like, Mrs. Valente, why is your neck all crushed up against your brainstem?
David, you never got into breakdancing, did you, or you did do it?
What?
David, did he ever breakdance?
I first started breakdancing, then I got into graffiti in the same year, in 1984.
Oh, okay, so you did have a little touch of the breakdancing. Okay.
Yeah. What was your famous move? Let's flip the switch.
David.
Not much.
I never got into the breaking. I was more of I fell in love with the outlawing that the Nomads did, and I became I could say I was more like an outlaw breaker. That's what I was. Outlaw rocker. That's what I was. That was my thing, outlawing. But it didn't last too long. I did it for like 1, 2, 3, 4, and as soon as breaking got played out, I stopped it. I didn't do it anymore.
Well,
because freestyle music came in.
Susie got pregnant, and she had already lost. We both lost the baby. We didn't know we were pregnant.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it was early on, and we're not, whatever. Thank you, but then Susie became pregnant, and I can't be putting this girl on my head. We can't be. So there were no other females, and like you said, it started to get played. Listen, when Bonnie and Fred were breakdancing on the commercials, it was like enough already. It was like saturated, and it was like time to go. And I was not finding another female. There was no way I could train somebody to learn all the choreography, to do the moves, or even find a female that was capable of doing footwork, backspins, hang glides, floats, windmills, head spins,
Yeah, Richie Rock spoke about you, that one that's in Puerto Rico.
Richie, yeah, I love Richie.
Yeah, he spoke very highly of you, and Kid Freeze,
we all
Clemente.
This is when
Yeah.
all of us, we came up together.
And Ace. You know who Ace is, right? Ace, he's in Philly, I think, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's trying to make his way back to New York now. He was on with us the other day.
Oh, yeah?
He was on with us. Yeah. He gets in the chat room. Like, we do this messenger thing. We do it almost every day. A lot of us get in from different crews. We all get together and we just talk, kick it, talk about the old times and everything, you know. It don't matter if we're not in the same crew. We all come from the same cloth, the streets.
Of course not.
You know, but some crews take it that way. It's only got to be about them. I'm not down with that. You know what I mean? I'm open with everybody. Everybody cool. You treat me cool, I treat you cool. It don't matter if we're in the same crew or not.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I reached out to when they first started with the MySpace, and I reached out to.
I was on MySpace too in 97, 96.
Started, and I reached out to Ken Swift.
Okay, Ken Swift. Okay.
I never had nothing personal with him. Our crews were rivals, and that was it. But like I said, I was good friends with Frosty. You know, not little. See my brain. You know,
Ken Swift was known as the freshest b-boy worldwide.
Who?
Ken Swift. Yeah, it's because you know the way he did his shuffles and all that. I mean, he was a smooth break dancer.
He got better. Let me explain to you how I felt about look at my freaking brain. Rocksteady.
Okay.
Once they got, this is how I feel from my perspective. So I'm looking at it right now. They came out and breakdance, that little notoriety, and they never we always expanded our moves, our skills, we always had more choreographed. I could call out a name of a routine and everybody in my crew knew what to do. We could up in the middle, do the Roxy, boom, everybody knew what we were going to do.
That is organized.
Gotta keep, you want to be the best. Let me tell you something. For the few videos you got on the girls, you freeze us in any part and we are all in the same exact place because I demanded it. If you want to be the best, you got to work hard for it. And I feel just sat back on their notoriety, and that's cool. I don't think that they started upping their skills until after it died out, they took it to the next level. You know, they were good, but they were nothing amazing. Rocksteady, they never entered any contests. Why? Because they couldn't win.
Wow.
They never entered the big breakdance contest. They have reasons why, but they once when Crazy Legs, I hate to bring up his name, I hate to say his name, but when he came back from Africa, he had an epiphany or something. And that was the first time I ever heard him speak the truth and say, I wasn't even one of the closest B-boy. Our group wasn't even one of the best, not even top 10. We were the hype. We would get the party started and the hype man and this. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's finally telling the truth. And, but that didn't last very long. Then it's back to, I did this.
Well, what went around worldwide, even here in Peru, all of South America, Rocksteady was known as the best ever.
Well,
the best crew ever, the best dancers.
Well,
that's what went around the world. That's what went around the world because of the movie Beat Street.
But they weren't.
Only because of Beat Street.
Because of the movie Beat Street. But I'm not gonna knock them because they put it out there. They put it out there.
Do you know who was supposed to be in Beat Street? Not Rocksteady, not New York City Breakers. The Dynamic Breakers and Incredible Breakers were the two crews that were supposed to be in Beat Street. They came second.
Wow.
They came second.
So it's not what you know, it's who you knew?
That's right. Because Dynamic won the first big breakdance contest. What was the prize? Being in the movie Beat Street. My crew, Dynamic Breakers, won. They were supposed to be, and Incredible Breakers, our brothers, were supposed to be the other team in Beat Street.
There you go.
And neither of you guys were.
Neither one reason or another. There's, reasons behind it. It didn't work out that way, and it happened the way it was supposed to. And, New York City Breakers and Rocksteady. And that's cool. It happens. But the truth of the matter is, they were not first choice. Even though people say, we were supposed to have it from the beginning. And the prize for the big breakdance contest winners was to be in Beach Street. They announce it. Leslie Uggams announces it. It's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So
Incredible.
but
Yeah.
like I said, I left the first day. I didn't go back. So they got like 2 little pieces of me in the movie. I regret it now that I didn't stay in the movie, but you know, you can't go back and change shit. Everything happens for a reason.
Factory. You're right. Yes, indeed.
But I just wish we can all just get our story straight, because other countries, they laugh at us. We're
Yes.
ridiculous.
They're very right now over here in South America. They're mad. They're mad because they thought they knew the history and they never knew the history.
That's sad.
You know, and people are coming out and saying the truth, because you got to tell the truth. Whether you won or you lost, big deal. You repped.
Yep.
It's all about repping.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
You're not gonna always win. You're going to lose sooner or later.
Well,
you know
I'm
what I mean?
out a couple of people on my show, big time, because I don't like somebody coming in who you got no history, and you climbing on the backs of everybody else who had it, and now you on the top pyramid controlling shit. That don't go with me.
No.
There are people fighting for their second chance that they didn't get back in the day. There are some great dancers and artists and DJs and musicians and everything that didn't get their chance. Everybody can't be in the number 1 spot.
They missed the jet.
You're going to try to rob them twice because you know somebody, because you got some green in your pocket. No, that shit don't go. I ain't letting it happen.
You got to check out this YouTube show called Hafa, My Expert Opinion.
Okay.
That show is like, to me, the dopest out right now, the YouTube show.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm going to write that down.
My Expert Opinion with Hafa. They interview rappers all from New York and different rappers from everywhere else too, besides Drink Champ, you know, with Nori and DJ FN from Miami. But this, My Expert Opinion, is crazy, yo. That show, because these rappers talk about when they went on tour, what they did, if they had a fight. Oh man, you'd be surprised what you hear.
I was on the day. I seen what went on firsthand, and being the only female, I was like spent a lot of time alone in my room because these guys were crazy. You know what I used to do? I used to go collect. We used to do 2 shows a day on Swatch Watch Fresh Tour, right? I would go and take everybody's daytime tickets, and I would give them my tickets, anybody's nighttime tickets, because they wanted to invite the ladies, you know, give them VIP tickets. And so I would go outside, and you see all the kids just waiting to meet any of the stars from the, you know, them, and wishing they could go. And I used to tell them, you got to make me 2 promises. I didn't even tell them what it was yet. You can't run. I'll wait here. But you got to get an adult to give you permission. And I would give away the tickets for free.
Oh, wow. That is beautiful.
To the kids that couldn't afford to come. But I had to make them, because one kid almost got hit by a bus. He was so excited to run home. And I said, I will wait here for you. I am not going anywhere. I swear, right here. And they would like bring their auntie or somebody and to tell them it was okay, get their permission, and I would give them the ticket. And that's what I used to do. So, you know, I love doing shit like that. You know?
Yeah. All right. That's cool.
In the chat, Jason Martin said, "Thank you for the knowledge, Kim."
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Nice. Salute.
Bigger than Nike back in the day.
What was that last point?
Swatch was bigger than Nike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you know what? They were supposed to be indestructible, but I broke so many of them. I was such a, you know, let me tell you something. You know, Fat Boys, Garrett, Buffy, we already lost 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them are gone, man.
And
unfortunately.
I loved Buffy. That was my pal, that was my buddy. And you know, when we were coming to Swatch the whole show, I mean, this is, you got arenas that are like 50,000 people, you know, And they would
Wow.
see me, and I would get a lot of people of color, and this happened everywhere I went. And they would be like, "Who that white girl? What's she gonna do? What's she here for?" You know. And then when I would come off the stage after performing, they would be like, "Yo, girl, you know, and whatever." I had proved myself. So
Yeah.
one time, these girls were just like hating on me big time, right? And I don't say nothing, you know, I'm minding my business, whatever, because I know what's gonna happen. I don't have to say nothing. So everything just went so perfect on that, you know, performance. And I came off and I was so hyped. And now all these girls who were just like tearing me up and cheering for me. And the first person I saw was Buffy. And if I tell you that I picked his ass up and spun him around, Buffy, that his manager, as a matter of fact, I just texted with Charles Stetler the other day. His manager used to tell everybody when I used to go up to Tim Pan Apple,
Mm-hmm.
you see her? She picked up Buffy and spun him. I saw
I could just see that.
Everybody.
Oh wow.
And
I could just see that.
yeah, I was an animal. I was crazy. I didn't care.
Mm.
You could do it. I could do it. That's how I used to look at it. You know, always. I was always good in sports, and I was a tomboy, and that's how I always think, man.
He's a go-getter, go-getter,
If
go-getter.
you could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on. This won't be the first and the last, but it's been a pleasure having you on here. I mean,
David, for having me.
you've opened up our third eye here, but I was stuck on phonics, thinking this, that, and the fifth. But now the puzzles are all finally coming together about
Everybody has
what I followed all my life. Because if you're going to be a part of something, you might as well know what is it that you follow, what is it that you love. You got to know the beginning of it. Otherwise,
you can't
you know what I mean? You're in the air. You know what I mean?
You know, not even mine. You cannot take one person's word and go, "Oh, okay."
No.
And you gotta get everybody.
You got to know your founding fathers, man. Whether they're from your city or another country, who cares?
This one said that. Oh, she said what he said, and they said, okay, that must be true. And you start to thread together the truth, you know, because.
And you know the way I look at it, your history does not begin in your basement, in the mirror, or in the living room, or in your bedroom practicing how to dance. Your history begins when you step out that door, whether it's the fire escape, wherever, the rooftop, whatever, a basement, but you're around a crowd outside in the street and you start to rock. That's when your history begins. Not when you're watching somebody and learning from a fire escape. No, it starts when you went out there and you repped it in the street.
You live it.
Yes, that's when your history begins as a dancer, when you hit that circle.
Yo. My mother's boyfriend was taking us all out to this like 5-star restaurant at the top of the Western Gulf and Bill in Manhattan, where you wear like black tie and I went with my.
Oh God.
Well, I would go with my Webo outfit. I would go with and I got to tell you, that's one thing. My mother, she never made me go change. I always had my own way, my own style. I wore what I like. I don't do it because you do it. I do it because I like it. And I got to say, my mom, that was the one thing that she never like bullied on me for, was however I dressed. And I look back and I go, damn, how did I have the nerve to go to this 5-star? Everyone's wearing black dresses and everybody's dressed up, and here I am, all hip hop out, and I changed my laces in the elevator. And
like if they're going to the opera or Radio City or something, like they're getting all dressed up, hooked up.
Because you live it every single moment of the day. You live it, you breathe it, you eat it. It's part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you can't do it no more, don't mean that you give up your whole history.
I do know this though, that like in New York, you guys grew up a lot earlier, like 8, 9 years old. You guys were already in the streets, you know, doing things. Yeah. And that is a true fact, because that's coming out of the mouths of a lot of celebs that ended up becoming street celebrities. They said they started when they were 8, 9, 10, and 11. They were already in the streets. You know, the father, the mother wasn't there for them. You know what I mean?
You're looking up my book, okay? And there's an article of me in the newspaper, okay? I was in Brooklyn. I had to go to places in the Bronx that no white person should be during the day, especially a white girl, teenager by herself, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh hell no! Taking that train too with the outlaws and
Listen, so
the GAs, the guardian angels at night.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was on. I didn't see no guardian. Nobody was guardianing me but me. I was. I had to go when I was with the body mechanics, and then I had a 2.5 hour ride back to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
This newspaper, they were adults, and they're like hiding behind the poles on the subway, and I'm like, and they're like, "Aren't you afraid? Oh my God, what are you doing here?"
Mhm.
And then they started asking me questions, and they literally put me in the newspaper, and an article saying like, "Who's this crazy girl by herself in the neighborhood?" I mean, but that's how I was. I felt
Yeah.
like I like to go wherever. This is where I lived. I grew up in mixed neighborhoods. I was comfortable no matter where I went. I didn't see things like that. And I'm not going to say I didn't see color, but you know what I'm saying. Everybody is.
So you were everywhere. You were in Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan. You were
Do you know
everywhere.
how scared my ex was to go to meet my family?
How bad?
Because he's a Puerto Rican. He was scared shit. I'm like, yo, my family's not like that. And you know what? If they got a problem with you, then they got a
They're
problem.
gonna have a problem with me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And to this day, he still loves them, even though I don't talk to him no more. But he still
Yeah.
does, you know.
Yeah.
That's how we grew up. That's how we grew up in my family, But anyway,
That's
I know
nice.
it's dragging on long, and we've said goodbye about 20 times already.
Yeah, I know.
This one.
Ice gotta go too. Yeah, I want to shout out all the Block Boys. I want to shout out my brother, Immortal Swift Kid, Jack Star. I want to shout out my brother Reno, Jam City, wherever you at, Jamar. My brothers from the chat line, King Up Rock, June Ski, Dave Ski, Jap, my homeboy Teaspoon, my boy Pace, you, Game. You know what I mean? All the brothers that be on there, my homegirls too, Dawn, Dubby, Stephanie, Robin, Brenda and her daughter, everyone who party takes and participates in sharing information. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody over here in South America, my buddy Max, everybody, you know who you are, man. Everybody who gets down with us, I want to shout out everybody, and I want to let them know, don't give up. Keep going for you. It's not over till they say the fat lady sings. I'd say it's not over till it's over when you're gone, because it's over for you, but everything keeps going on, So it's not over till you're over. Feel me? And those are my shout outs, man, to everyone, man. Everyone out there, my buddy Piero, Lambayeque, Peru, everybody. If I missed you, it's because look at the time. We've been on the line for like 2 hours, and
my God, have we?
It was a little heavy trying to get it started, and sometimes we forget, we forget things, but we don't mean to. Rest in peace to Sam Bam. He's not here right now. He's an awesome B-boy, man. Awesome B-boy. We just lost him this year. Rest in peace to him, And AC, of course, that's out there in Pennsylvania. Yep. Richie Rock in Puerto Rico, of course, and the other homeboy that's in the Bronx, I keep always forgetting his name. Kid Freeze, Does Rock. There's so many I want to shout out, man. You know who you guys are, man. You always come in the chat room with us, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And that's it.
Have a happy New Year. Thank you, David.
Same to you. Well, you can mention them too because they're your family. So let me stop you. ACH in Boston, of course. You know what I mean? And his brother. Yeah. So you want to shout out everybody I shout out, right? Because we know the same people. We know the same people. And your homeboy too, of course. What's his name? Stefano, what's his name? Always comes in the room with Sebastian. No question, Sebastian. Oh, Ben Latin in Hartford, Connecticut, of course, in the Hot PC. Dooney, man, how could I forget you, man? Look, I was forgetting Dooney, man. That's a no-no. I gotta say big up to Dooney. My dude Schizo, you know what I'm saying? Everybody out there, man, you know who you are, man. You know who you are. And that's it. That's it, man.
Okay. All right. Well, we're out.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year to you too.
Peace and blessings.
Exact same. Likewise.